Hey guys, this is Sundown Rider here, and this is going to be my chapter review to One Piece chapter 834, Vin Smoke Sanji. So we first get an awesome color double spread where everyone's wearing something to do with bears. I mean, Luffy's shirt says something like Kuma Momo or something. I forgot what it says. But they're all wearing something bear related now. Can someone in the comments tell me why they're wearing something bear related? I mean, the chapter had nothing to do with bears. Chopper's got this bear hat. Zoro's wearing a bear shirt. Luffy's wearing a bear shirt. They're all wearing something to do with bears. I think Nami's got a dress with a claw print on it or something like that. But yeah, that was awkward. I didn't really know what was going on. But yeah, it looked pretty cool. It was a nice colored spread. So then we go straight into the chapter where Luffy's tank mode has sent Cracker flying and he's absolutely been demolished. And Luffy said, "See you on the other side of the New World," but I think he meant it because Cracker's been sent flying through many, many buildings. We see him smash through a spire. We see him smash through more trees. We see him smash through everything, a house even. And we get a montage of Cracker being sent crashing through the island, basically, like Hody Jones's water cannon thing when he flicked it and it went flying across Fishman Island. It was exactly like that, just with Cracker. So we then go to Whole Cake Chateau, where Big Mom has gathered two commanders. She's brought together the two commanders, two of the three, but she's still waiting on Cracker, and she asks where Cracker is. So we also get the names of the two commanders who we haven't seen yet. One is called Lord Katakuri, which is potato starch, and one is Lord Smoothie, which is just Lord Smoothie. That's the actual name. It's not a translation. So the townsfolk see something sailing at a high speed through the air, and this is right next to Whole Cake Chateau. So they see something sailing through the air at a high speed, and then it crashes into the chateau, much to their surprise and to their terror, and they're all running away like freaking Godzilla's coming out. And we know it's Cracker. So we then see three individuals find Cracker's body. We see the 19th and the 5th sons and the 18th daughter. Who looks actually a lot like a female Corazon almost. She's wearing like that black feathered jacket, and her eyes are darkened with some sort of eyeshadow thing. She looks almost, and she's got the blonde hair as well. She looks almost like a female Corazon. She looks pretty tall as well. So they're shocked that their brother Cracker's been knocked the hell out, and immediately order the city into red alert, presuming that Luffy is very close to them. He's in the vicinity, even though Luffy's all the way back at the Seducing Woods, because they're like, there's no way Luffy could have fought him in the Seducing Woods, and Cracker would have ended up here. So they assume that Luffy's right next to them, which is obviously a misconception. So we then go back to Luffy. He's catching his breath and complaining about how much he's eaten, how many biscuits he's eaten. So Pound apologizes for his lack of faith in Nami and Luffy, and Nami's like, "You should really learn to stop speaking your mind. This is probably why people hate Pound." So Luffy is shrinking in size because his Gear 4th is burning off the pounds, burning off the calories, because it uses so much. It's so energy costly that it's burning off all the calories he's got. So Nami then shoots her arms up in jubilation. She's happy that they beat Cracker. Nobody else is as happy as she is. Everyone else seems like, yeah, he's defeated. And King Borm is ashamed in his role that he had to play because of Nami's Viva card. So King Borm then says that his homies are powerless in front of Big Mom's Viva card, enough so that even Big Mom's children don't carry them around in the Seducing Woods, don't carry around a Viva card in the Seducing Woods, to make sure that the homies still remain in full control of themselves, basically. And Nami's happy about the card. She's like, "Yep, this is all I need." So Pound says that they're in a precarious situation. When Commander Snack was defeated, so that's the 4th commander who isn't a commander anymore, we assume. So when Commander Snack was defeated, Cracker and his troops went to get revenge, and Big Mom summoned a storm as Cracker and his troops went to get revenge, and in the blink of an eye, the enemy was defeated. So we assume that's Rouge's probably his crew, and that's probably why they were all mashed up and all damaged and injured. So Big Mom summoned a storm, which was the physical manifestation of her rage. So how did Big Mom, who has the life fruit or something like that, I forgot what the full name was, I think it was the life fruit, wasn't it? How did she summon a storm that's not within her powers? So, and Pound even then goes on to say that Lin Lin has the ability to control the weather. So is this something to do with giving life to, like we saw that sun with a face on it a few chapters ago? Was that something to do with her ability? Is this storm something to do with the ability to also give life to like elements, for instance, as in like fire, wind, earth, air, all that type of stuff? Is she able to do that? So he says that Zeus is the power she's able to emit from her left hand, which is a thundercloud, and Prometheus from her right hand, which is the sun. And these are both very iconic figures in Greek mythology, I think it is. I mean, if you wrote Prometheus and Zeus both in Google search, you'd find out exactly who they were. Prometheus stole fire, and then when he was found out, he was really up shit creek without a paddle. So yeah, so Lin Lin has the ability to control the weather somehow, and Pound says the best thing to do now is leave. So Luffy doesn't seem to mind about a storm. He's like, yeah, they should see me when I'm throwing my raging tantrums. So Luffy then thinks about what's happened so far with Sanji's random disappearance and the letter, Peckham's missing, Pudding not appearing, the forest, and all of this really that's infuriated him. So he says Sanji would be an official member of the Big Mom Pirates, which is something that Luffy obviously doesn't want because he found Sanji and Sanji is his man. So Nami says they've no idea when the ceremony is, but the Vinsmokes are said to it's been portrayed, but it must be through Chopper and Carrot, that they're visiting the castle. The Vinsmokes are visiting the Whole Cake Chateau today, so they have to stop Sanji before he reaches the castle. So Luffy then tells King Bomb to carry them to the castle. So we then go to the Germa carriage, which is the Germa carriage, where they wonder, the Germa 66 are wondering why the townspeople are freaking out, and they assume that it's because of them, because, you know, they're royals and whatnot. So we then see Nami talking to Chopper and Carrot through a mirror shard, and they say if all goes well, they should be able to, and then they don't finish off the sentence. So they should be able to what? Escape? Should be able to carry on seeing where Sanji is? Should be able to carry on providing information? What are they doing in the mirror world? For Nami to also know that the Vinsmokes were going to go to the castle, or was that just something that Pudding told them before? I can't remember. So they still seem to be getting hunted by Brûlé. This is Chopper and Carrot. So then the shard explodes after many screams of agony from Chopper and Carrot. Obviously they weren't hit, they were probably dodging it, but the shard explodes and Nami watches as Luffy shrinks back to his normal size. So Baum says Nami's luck hasn't run out, and they've chanced upon the Germa 66, so they chanced upon the cat rage that Sanji and them are all on. So Luffy wakes up and he's all hyped, and Judge is warned about an incoming body of people. So Luffy shouts to Sanji upon seeing him, and Yonji is shocked about how fast Luffy got there. So Sanji is horrified. His face is just like, ah, really? And so Nami shouts over, and Yonji and Niji both go full pervert. Their eyes go hearts, and I was laughing my ass off. So Judge identifies Luffy, and Reiju looks pleased about Luffy's appearance. And Judge is like, oh, okay, that's got to be Straw Hat Luffy, I assume. And Reiju is actually happy. This is what we were saying. Reiju isn't a bad lady, and we know this already. So Luffy flies onto Yonji's window side and tells Sanji he's here to pick him up, and he says that he didn't really want to wait for him, and he wasn't really bothered for what Sanji was going to do, so he came here to pick him up by himself. And he was saying, like, I would have come by myself and all this, but our crewmates didn't allow it. So Sanji then considers everything while Luffy talks about his hands being blown off if he tries to leave, about whatever Vito told him. Vito must have told him something quite substantial, because whatever he said, Sanji constantly thinks about that whenever he contemplates escape. So about whatever Vito told him about the consequences of rejecting Mama's words, and about Zeph. Obviously he doesn't want Zeph to get caught up in this mess. So he makes up his mind about what he needs to do, and he kicks Luffy straight in the face. So his whatever his decision was, he's decided to betray Luffy just for however long an amount of time he's deemed fit. So Nami is shocked, and Sanji tells Nami and Luffy that they're lowly sea thugs and they need to leave. He addresses himself as Vinsmoke Sanji, something he would never actually do him if he was acting as himself, but he's not. So he's saying that he's a prince of the German 66. So Reiju understands what he's doing. She has a straight face. She's just got her eyes shut. And his brothers think obviously he must have changed, and they're all happy and like amused by this. So he then says he didn't tell Luffy and the crew about his heritage because he didn't want them to develop an inferiority complex. So he says he has wealth, soldiers, servants, glory, and a beautiful bride-to-be. So why would he ever leave with Luffy? That's his reasoning. He tells Luffy even an idiot can see the better option here. So Nami looks heartbroken whenever in this scene, and Sanji calls them dumb for even trying to come here, and pretends to forget Luffy's name. Now that was harsh. He pretends to forget Luffy's name. So Yonji then says, I'll help you, Sanji. I'll help you get rid of these trash-like people. And Sanji says, you know what? No, I'll take all the trash back to where they belong. So so that's where the chapter ends, and it was a good chapter. It's just that, was this an intelligent decision by Sanji? So we've seen this before with Robin and Nami. where they pretend to defect for the sake of their crews or for the sake of others. And Luffy must know that this is an act. He must know that Sanji has to do this for the greater good, for some other reason. He wouldn't do this if he was himself. So a lot of people on Manga Stream were saying that Sanji should be able to escape an explosion to his hands. He should be able to, at least his haki should be powerful enough that it wouldn't affect his arms. But maybe a powerful, concentrated blast around his wrists, maybe his haki just isn't strong enough to take care of that. Maybe his haki is weak enough that if a concentrated blast went off around his wrists, because you got to remember, he's practiced a lot of haki around his legs. He uses his legs. He doesn't fight with his fists, so he hasn't used his fists in haki or clad in haki. So maybe his wrists would still blow off. I'm not sure. This is just an explanation I'm trying to give to you guys. So also, the thing that I was shocked about was what's with Big Mom's multiple abilities. Is it just part of her life fruit? If Sanji and Luffy, well, that's another point altogether. But if this is part of her life fruit, she's got a load of abilities that we don't know about yet, which is understandable because we've only seen a couple of her abilities anyway. Also, if Sanji and Luffy fight, Luffy might actually go down. I think Luffy might lose because he's taken a lot of damage so far. He's had to fight one of the commanders and he had to go Gear 4 early. So he's fatigued, he's injured, and also there's quite a few of the Germa around him. All the strongest members of the Germa are around him. So Sanji may actually be doing this to save Luffy's ass. So will Sanji tell Luffy to hold back while he's fighting? Will he tell him to stay off for a while, just so that Sanji can sort things out and then Luffy can come in? So I think he's doing this for Zeph, and he needs to do this for Zeph. But this whole storyline's been recycled of the crewmate is betraying the crew and Luffy for the greater good, but he's going to come back eventually. So then the main point is, will Luffy be able to beat all of the Vinsmokes? I don't think so. He's strong. We know he's strong. He's beat Cracker and he's beat everyone so far. And he's beat Duffy for starters. So we know Luffy's strong. But we've got all the Vinsmokes here, like I said. And they're all rested. And Luffy's injured and fatigued. And even if Sanji sat it out, Ichiji, Niji, Yonji, Judge, and Reiju would probably be able to take out Luffy anyway. Even if he was actually healthy, even if Luffy was fully recovered and fully fresh, he'd have a hard time fighting 5 people by himself. I mean, especially because Reiju has this weird devil fruit. We don't actually know the extent of her devil fruit abilities. So all the Vinsmokes are there and Luffy is fatigued and injured. Just remember that. So I've got mixed feelings about this chapter. Overall, it was a good chapter. I'd give it about a 3.5 to 4 out of 5, maybe a 4 out of 5. But this is kind of recycled, and I don't like that aspect of it. I think Sanji has made the right decision. He does need to fend off Luffy for a while to sort stuff out. And Luffy is the kind of guy, once he's made up his mind, that's it, you're done. You're going to do whatever he says, otherwise he's gonna mess everything up. So Sanji's made the right decision. If not just for himself, then he's made the right decision for Luffy and Nami, because we forget that Nami's there, and Luffy wouldn't be the only one to go down if all the Vinsmokes decided they wanted in the fight. Nami's there, and she's defenseless when it comes to all 5 Vinsmokes, and they'd probably wreck her. And if they were going lady versus lady, Reiju would probably murder the hell out of Nami. So let me know what you guys thought about the chapter. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All your theories down below, and I'll read them hopefully if they're good. And yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys later.